Hi everyone, welcome to another interesting tutorial. I'm Yinky, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful princess ball dress you're seeing on my screen. And this tutorial, this single tutorial, is the cutting and the sewing tutorial. So this tutorial is well packaged for you, and with this you can make this beautiful ball dress. So without wasting much of our time, I'll just go straight to the tutorial. Here are the materials that I used. Ad net. So you're going to buy ad net of like 2 yards, and I also get the velvet material. This is a sequins velvet material that I use. So the sequin material is like a blue color, and I got my zipper, I got my hairstay, I got my lining. So I use like two lining. When we get to the tutorial in proper, you will understand the lining part. So here I want to cut the upper bodies. The upper bodies, I use the velvet sequin to make the upper bodies. So I just folded into two, and after folding into two, I'll fold into four, meaning I'm cutting the front and back together. So as you can see from the picture of the dress, you can see that it is like a basque at the front, and the back is normal back, but the front is a basque. So I take my this line that I just marked is the down part. So I take 13 inches for the length of the from the shoulder to the below the half length. So just 1 inch before the hip line of the girl. So I took 13 inches. This I am making this for a 7-year-old girl. I'm making this for a 7-year-old girl. So I just take 13 inches. 6 inches is the breast point, while I just took the underbust to be 8 inches. It is not necessary, but just for me to be able to get my measurement right, 8 inches for the underbust. You know they don't have bust, so but you just need to take all those into cognizance because of how to take your measurement, and 10 inches for my half length. So the rest 13 inches is just above the hip line because of the basque effect at the front. So I have 6, 8, 10, and 13. So here I'll come up by 1.5 inches for my half, for my upper chest to take my armhole. So I just draw that to take my armhole curve. So the shoulder width is 10 inches. I divided it into two, I got 5. So here I'm inputting the circumference measurement. The circumference measurement, which is the bust divided by 4, it gives me 5.5, and I'll just connect 5.5 down, because here I just added 1 inches for 1 inch for my sewing allowance. I added 1 inch for my sewing allowance here. So here I'll take the same measurement all through, because this is a girl, she does not have bust, so the measurement is like straight, but you are just going to modify some things about this measurement. So I will come inward at the half length by just half of an inch, just to give it a kind of shape. So I added 1 inch sewing allowance at the side. That's what you see me add. So don't forget, I told you this is the shoulder to shoulder measurement is 5 inches. And for the scoop neck, I took 4 inches. So you can see the neck is very wide. So I'll just come down the neck depth. The neck depth will be 3 inches, 3 inches, because it's the scoop neck is kind of wide neck, and it's always beautiful on princess dresses. So that's why I choose to use the scoop neck design. So I'll just connect like so. So this same neck width will work for the back and so for the front. So it's the same neck width and depth for the back and front when you're making a scoop neck. So this, you can see the width of the armhole, the for the shoulder width is not wide at all, just 1 inch for the shoulder width. So that's the beauty of a scoop neck. So I took my shoulder width to be 1 inch, so that by the time I finish sewing, I will have half of an inch left. So I have like 1 inch 1 inch or 1.5 inch thereabout. So here let's talk about the basque effect. So that's what I'm creating. That will go to the center front like so to create the basque effect. I don't want it to be too sharp. So when I'm cutting, I will try to adjust some things. So here I'll just cut like so the armhole and slit this part open and cut with the basque first before I now shorten the back bodies. So the back bodies will not have a basque effect. The back bodies won't have a basque effect. Only the front we have a basque effect. That's why I'm cutting the back without the basque. So I'll just add 1 inch sewing allowance, this zipper allowance to the back, a notch on the zipper allowance. So I will remove the basque like so for the front. So I have cut out the basque for the front. So I have my front like this and my back is placed on it like so. So I will trim out all excesses. So I'll trim out all excesses like so. And after I have done that, this is my tool. The tool, I take length to be 32 inches, adding it to the former inches of the girl. So since the half length is 10 and the full length is just like 41. So here are my lining. So I added the paper stay. So this is a kind of interfacing, and on the major fabric I added hair stay. We call it hair stay in Nigeria. It's called fusible interfacing. So I added it to the main fabric just to stabilize the main fabric and give it a kind of form and structure. So I'm trying to turn the neckline now. So I place the lining on the main fabric and pin down the neckline. So I'm starting my turning from the neckline. So after joining shoulder to shoulder, you can see that I have joined shoulder to shoulder on the lining and shoulder to shoulder on the main fabric. So I will now turn together the neckline of the front and the neckline of the back. So after I have pinned it down, I'll go ahead and stitch with just the sewing allowance that I put there in. I think I put half of an inch sewing allowance to turn the neckline. So I'll just go ahead and stitch with my appropriate sewing allowance. So I will just go ahead and stitch with that appropriate sewing allowance. I think I put half or a quarter of an inch. So what I'm working with here is just like a quarter of an inch, so that by the time I want to fix my sleeve, I will still have like a, a quarter of an inch left for my shoulder width. So I'll just notch like so. After I notch, I'll now top stitch on my lining. So I'll go ahead and top stitch on my lining so that the lining will relax inside. So I don't want a situation whereby the lining will be showing on the right side of the cloth or the lining will just be peeping up. So that's why I always top stitch on my lining. So after I have top stitched on the lining, I'll go ahead and give it a good iron. So I'll press it, and this is what I have. So the next thing to do is to join the side seam together, inputting the sewing the body measurement. So I will just input body measurement here. This is the lining of the front facing the lining of the back. That's what I did. I just removed the major fabric aside. I put the major fabric aside, and after inputting your zipper allowance, input the body measurement. The body measurement is 22 divided by 4 gives me 5.5. That's what I just input. And you can see the shape in which I input the measurement. So I'll just go ahead and stitch by the side. This is, I am inputting the body measurement right away on the lining. Only on the lining to lining, major fabric to major fabric. So after I have done that, I will trim out the excesses because 1 inch so allowance is too much. That's why I don't want the side to be too bulky. That's why I just trim that side off. So the same thing I did for the lining is what I am doing for the main fabric right away. So I've input the body measurement on it, and I have stitched it. So this is what I have. I can turn it over like so, and so that everything will be concealed inside. So it will just be like an inseam finishing, that the sewing allowance will be on the inside, not on the outside. So I don't need to weave it because it has been concealed inside. So I can trim off any excesses on this part, and After I trimmed it off, I can match the armhole because I will still later on I will fix a sleeve. So I don't need to turn the armhole because I will fix a sleeve on the armhole. So the part I'm turning right now is the zipper allowance side. So I will turn it right away, and this is the way I'm turning the zipper allowance. So I'll just turn like so, and whatever I've done to one side, I will do to the other side. So this is what we have. So we have almost completed the turning, and turning of the main fabric and the lining. So this is what I have, and I will match this part. So I will just run a straight stitch to join the lining together with the fabric, with the main fabric on the waistline. So this is what we have. We are almost ready with our upper bodice, and the next thing is to go ahead and prepare my tool to be able to fix my tool on this upper bodies. So I have my upper bodies. You can see that it is very neat. Everywhere is neat and well concealed. So I'll go and prepare my upper bodies right now. I'll go and prepare my lower bodies. I mean the tool. So here, when you look at the picture very well, you see a kind of a flare. I can call it a flare on the on the tool. So that's what I want to create now. It's just like a kind of peplum. So the material I use for this is organza material. We call it organza material. So I will just cut a peplum. So the length of the peplum length is just like 15 inches length, and whatever is remaining for my radius, I will just take it like that because I want to pleat it on the waistline. So that's why I want it to be very wide. So after I have done that, created my peplum, I have like 15 inches for the peplum length, and later on I will be folding the peplum into two while I pleat the longer side on the shorter side. I'll show you that when we get there. So I'll just cut out my flare. So this is just like a 360 flare, and I'll cut it into two because I'm creating this for each of the sides. So I'll cut it into two here, and after cutting it into two, I'll take one out of the flares and open it up and fold it like so. So just follow what I am doing if you cannot get what I'm saying. So I'll just fold it up like so and pleat the longer side on the shorter side. That's why I'm pinning it so that I'll be able to arrange the pleats accurately and uniformly. So after I have pleat the longer side on the shorter side, uh, it's kind of giving it a ball effect, a standing up effect. So I want it to stand up and to be bogus. That's why I'm doing this. So after I've done this, I will do the same thing for the other flare, and this will serve as my peplum that I'm going to place on the toe. So I'll go ahead and gather the longer side on the shorter side. That's what I'm doing on my sewing machine right away. So when I'm done with that, I will arrange it on my tool. So the tool originally I used 10 inches and 10 yards of tool. 10 yards of tool. I gather it together. When you are gathering your tool, make sure you gather it to the measurement that is on the upper bodies. So I gather my tool together, and after I gathered it, I now place this my peplum. This peplum is what I just want to trim off because there is like a high-low effect on the peplum. That's what I'm trying to trim off here. There is like a high-low effect on the peplum. So this part will be connected to the center front. That's why I'm trimming it off. So whatever I do on one peplum, I do it on the other peplum also. So that, and I bring the tips together, and here is my tool. Here is my tool. So on this tool, I will first of all locate the center front on the tool, and the center front, the center front from the measurement. Any measurement I take here, I will replace it on the tool. I will make sure the measurement is on the tool. So I want to check if what I gathered on the tool is accurate. Is the same thing with what is on the upper bodies. So that's what I'm checking. So folding this tool into two, I'll check if the measurement what I measured now is still the same thing that is here on the tool. because you remember that the tool will be placed on the upper bodice. So that's what I'm checking. So after cross checking, if it is longer, I'm still going to gather the tool more so that it will be the same measurement. And if it is shorter, I will loosen the tool so that it will be the same measurement with the waist that is on the upper bodice. So after I have concluded that, I'll place my peplum. I'll place my peplum design. So, and that is what I'm trying to do. I'll use my pin to attach my peplum design. So if need be, if the peplum is longer than the two, I'll pleat it on the two. So starting from the center front, I'll go towards the zipper, to the zipper area on the tool, and I will do likewise for the other side also. So after I have gathered it, I'll go on my machine and match it on it, so that the peplum and the tool will become one. So after the peplum and the tool become one, that's when I will now attach to the upper bodies. So I hope you get this. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, as lots of amazing tutorial and detailed tutorials await you on this channel. If you are interested in enrolling with us, there's no problem as to that. I'm going to leave my numbers on the screen before I finish this video, so as to contact me and make inquiries on our available classes. So here I have arranged my peplum. One side of the peplum, I've arranged it on the tool, and I will go ahead and do same for the other side. And when my tool is ready, I will now attach it. So here my tool is ready. I want to fix the tool to the upper bodice. That is what I'm trying to do here. So I'll pin it down carefully. I'm trying to pin the tool, the upper and the lower bodies together. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So that's the first thing you will do. Just attach your upper and lower bodies together first. So after I attach it together, I'm going to sew it on my machine and make sure it is well fixed. And after I did that, this is what I have. This is the result. This is the result. You know that we have put the peplum already. So that's the result. So the next thing to do is just stitch it. So here I'm trying to prepare my lining. So the hard net comes in here. So here I just want to prepare 2 layers of hard net on the lining. So the lining is cut as a flare. So if you like, you can cut it straight and gather it, but make sure when you cut it straight, when you cut your lining straight, make sure it is surplus so that you'll be able to gather, because all you want to do is to give it a ball effect. So I cut my lining as a flare, and I added like 2 times waist measurement is the flare. So and I gathered my net, my hard net on it. So I make 2 step hard net. So one step on the upper part, like 5 inches from the waistline, I put the first step, and like 4 inches from the first step, I put the second step. But make sure that the net does not is not longer than the lining. Make sure your hard net is not longer than the lining while you are putting it. Just use your discretion to do this, and we have the same result. So here I have prepared my hard net 2 step. You can make it 3 steps. It depends on how plenty and surplus your hard net is. So here, but my hard net is cut straight. It is not cut as a flare. So after I arrange my hard net, like 2 step of hard net, the next thing to go and do is to place my hard net on the dress. So you can see the way I'm placing it. So just go ahead and attach the this part, the waistline, attach it together like so. So after I have attached it, you know that my hard net did not start immediately from the waistline, so that the waistline will be flat. That's why I did that. So I bring another lining, cut as flare also. I bring it to cover the net. So the way I will attach that lining is like this. You can see the where I put it, so that it will cover the sewing allowance up, so that all the sewing allowance will be concealed, and I will turn it over like so. I hope you get that. Just follow what I am doing, even if you cannot get what I am saying. So like this, it's surplus. It's more than the waist. I always cut it more than the waist measurement. So when I want to attach it, I will just split it round so that it will give it that effect. So after fixing it, this is what I have. You can see that I have used it to turn the sewing allowance inward, and it's very neat. Makes so everything will be concealed inside. So this is what I have, and the inside is very neat. This is the inside of the dress, and it's there is nothing that will be itching the girl inside this dress. So after I have done this, the next thing to do is to go ahead and join the zipper allowance together so as to fix my zip. So I'll go ahead and join the zipper allowance together to be able to fix my zipper, and join the tulle together. That means I will join tulle to tulle and lining to lining. So I will join it separately. When I'm joining, I join separately. I'll join tulle together and join lining together. Each of the lining will be joined separately. Tulle will be joined separate, lining will be joined separate. So, and this is what I have after I have done that. And you can see it's beautiful. The next thing to do is to fix my zipper. So I'll go ahead now and fix my zipper. And after I fix my zipper, I think the next thing to do is to arrange my sleeve. So there is a sleeve, there is like a puff sleeve, but a very smart puff sleeve. So all I take here is then 10 inches on fold. I'm cutting the two sleeves together. The two sleeves is cut together, and the kind of fabric I use here is called shiny face. It's a bridal satin also, but it's shiny, so we call it shiny face bridal satin. We also have dull face bridal satin, but I'm using a shiny face here. So the length of the sleeve is 6 inches, and I added like 1 inch sewing allowance here. I took the crotch of the sleeve, and this is what I have. And I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to place my organza fabric also. I will match organza fabric on that shiny face. That's why I placed that. So cutting this out, this is my sleeve that I will put, that I'm going to use as a puff sleeve. So I will notch this part because I'll pass rubber inside. So I'm going to match my organza fabric on the satin fabric. I will match the organza fabric on the satin fabric. So I'm trying to recut so that they will be in the same shape. So after matching the organza fabric, I'll just pass in my rubber into the space I created for my elastic rubber. So this is what I have. I'll go and match and pass my rubber inside the space created for the elastic rubber, and this is what I have. So if the round sleeve is 10, the elastic rubber too will be 10. With the sewing allowance and everything, I don't want something that will be too tight. That's why I do it the same measurement. If the round sleeve is 10, the elastic rubber will be 10. So by the time I take off the sewing allowance and everything, so the measurement will be okay, and the rubber will not be too tight. So here I'm trying to fix my sleeve. So I'm trying to fix the puff sleeve here. And after fixing the puff sleeve, we are almost at the end of this tutorial. So if this tutorial has been helpful in one way or the other, please give it a thumbs up, share, and also like this video. Do me a favor by subscribing to my channel if you have not done so, so as to encourage me to do more of this. Thanks and God bless you. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.